Thank you. Everybody knows where they're on the left. Anybody can plug into the system. Anybody can do this. All right. Now, before I get into the details of this, and you're going to see this is very, very simple. It's not so profound you're not going to figure it out. Is with what I'm going to show you is exactly what we're using to build the business. Okay, and I've got people in the room that can attest that that's what they're doing and how they're signing people up. Because you have to learn to only be the messenger and not the message. When it becomes about you, then the whole thing stops. When it becomes about you, the whole thing stops, and it's all laid on your shoulders for your people, and you will never get any kind of duplication. Okay? So here's what we're going to do, is I'm going to teach you how to edify tools, and I'm going to show you the exact 3 steps that we do to get people to see the business, want more information about the business, and are basically signing up because they wanted to. Wouldn't that be kind of cool? How many people pretty much had to badger and beg some people to join? Take a guess what's going to happen when you try to keep them in. You're going to have to badger them and beg them to keep them in. I don't have time for that. You don't have time for that. We're talking about hitting massive numbers quickly, because the more times you swing a bat, what happens? More chances to get a hit. So it's not about standing at the plate. It's about how many times you can swing the bat. So if you know that you swing the bat, and I'll give you an example. Alex Rodriguez, everybody most know people, A-Rod, right? Back in the 90s, late 90s, he was making only a few $100,000 a year. Got, big bonus to come out of college, but he made a few $100,000 a year. Now the guy's making like $200 million, right, a year or something crazy like that. $250 for like a 5-year contract. That's a lot of money. Did the game change? Did the bases get moved differently for him? Did the batter ball? Nothing changed. What happened was he learned to become proficient in a few simple skills. If you become brilliant in the basics, you cannot fail. If you become brilliant in the basics, you cannot fail. So let me show you how we get that. Now, I asked permission from Bill before I shared any of this with anybody, okay? Because I'm always respectful for people that are not in my group, and I can care less who uses my tool, my information, and everything's free, by the way. I don't charge anybody for anything, okay? But there's a website that I use that I put together for my team called ccmbasics.com, and you can go on there, and what you're going to do is you're going to download this form. Right here, you're going to see it, and I'm going to explain it. This right here is a form called Getting Started Training. Can't miss it, okay? ccmbasics.com, you'll see me, and then you'll see the 2 forms right there, and I'm going to touch on the other form too. So here's the first thing that we do, is we have a sizzle call. When somebody says to you, JB, right? Right. What's... BJ, I'm sorry. JB is a Scotch bartender, right? Punch it home. All right, Johnny Walker. I can flip the bottles, by the way. And yes, I've seen Cocktail, and don't ask me about the movie again. Sorry, I got to drunk people in here. You ever seen Cocktail, the movie? Yes, anyhow. I'm going to come over to the bar, and you're going to end up on a milk carton in 2 seconds. Okay. BJ, right? So I say BJ, what's CCM? This is going to make or break your business right here. What's CCM?
It's a company that I'm involved with. I own an online utility store.
What's an online utility store?
It's a place where you can go and save money.
Is there money in it?
Save money with your utilities. Yeah.
What's CCM? I can't do it. What's CCM? Okay, you guys all saw the presentation this morning, right?
An opportunity.
What happens to your new prospect that came and signed up when they first walk out the door and somebody says, what meeting did you go to? What's CCM? This is exactly what you just saw happen. Do you know why? It's because they haven't been in long enough to learn the business. You know why some people don't join your business? Is because they have fear of going out and failing, or trying to get their people in something that they can't explain. So they don't even talk. They get excited because they saw something, and then immediately join the witness protection program. Why this system works is this. If you pictured somebody, if I told you, if I said, Pat, you need to learn how to swim, and here's how we're going to do it. We're going to sign you up for your swim lessons, and we're just going to teach you how to swim. You saw how this guy swam in the pool, right? That guy, Michael Phelps, you watched that on TV? Okay, we're gonna get you to that level someday. Here's what we're doing. And I row the boat out in the middle of a lake and I push him over the edge. Come on, you saw him swim on TV, do what he just did. How many people see people basically do that with their people in their business? What if I took him and said, hey, let's go out in the middle of the boat, but I'll teach you some stuff first. But in fact, instead of let's going out in the boat, let's do it onshore, and we'll do it onshore, and I'll put a life preserver on you. So that now you have a life preserver on you, we're teaching you skills on the dry land, so that now when you step into the water, how much skill, even if you still have your life preserver on, how afraid of you are you to do it? You have no fear whatsoever. Do you realize that fear is what keeps people from actually building their businesses? Fear of saying the wrong thing, fear of not knowing something. I watch people come to some of my meetings every single week and will ask me 10 different questions. And I'm like, why? You don't need to know that. Well, what if they ask me? No, you don't need to know that. You need to follow the system. So here's the system. Instead of BJ saying that, I say, what's CCM? You go like this. Oh, I am so fired up about CCM. This is amazing. This is the coolest company. I don't have time right now to tell you about it, but if you get a couple minutes, you have got to listen to this recorded call. I got some guys on this, there's some guys on this call that are making insane amounts of money. Once I heard it, I was just blown away. How many of you guys could do that? Yes. Because it took the pressure off of her. How much rejection did she get if I say no? None. And when you listen to the sizzle call, I got a guy named Ron Krieger, the guy that you'll hear the voice of this guy. Ron he's a sales professional, has been doing this for years. He's studied all kinds of psychological and neuro-linguistic stuff, blah, 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 right? And his call is phenomenal. It's an amazing call. It gets energy going. So here's the thing. All I need to do is, didn't I say that this was a step-by-step process? Recruiting is a process. But I want you, again, let's think about baseball. When you get up to the plate, when you have somebody at the plate, you don't want to just try to crush it and hit it over the fence. Okay, you make run of those people. But what you want to do is you want to get somebody to first base. And then eventually you get them to what would come next. Second base, third base, and then home. Home is they sign up and they're ready to do the thing, right? But what would happen now is, let's say she said, oh, I don't have time right now, but let me send you a text. You can actually put that phone number on your Go Mobile thing. Well, send me a text real quick and type this in and you'll get this information. And boom, she would have got that call from the Go Mobile, or just send her a text. The next thing you're going to do is this. You're going to have them go to that. Because now, if I've heard the call and I've listened to it, she then got excited about it, or I got excited about it, okay, because it made sense to me. Sure, I'd like to get paid on commercial energy. That makes a lot of sense. How can, I would like some more information. The next step would be to watch 2 short videos. The top one right there is 2 minutes long, on basically testimony after testimony after testimony after testimony, real quick, of people that have submitted accounts, what kind of accounts they were, and the savings. The one below that is some really big commercial accounts that we have. The top video is 2 minutes long, the bottom one is 6 minutes long. Okay? Now from that point on, guess what? How much have I talked to myself so far? Or has JB talked, or have you talked?
Not even a minute.
None. You just edified. You just edified a tool. You pointed somebody to a tool. Final thing we do is this. I got this automated as well if you want to use this system, or you can do your own, okay? But here's the cool part, is once I've got them to listen to a 10-minute recorded call, and once I've got them to watch 2 short videos, if they still are interested, at this point, I can now have an educated conversation about what I am in. Instead, I went, originally, if BJ would have said anything that came out of her mouth, and what was your name? Because your name tag's turned backwards too? Not telling me? Jane Doe? When Jane said that she would have puked on me on that, some people, when you first get excited, what do? Who do you contact usually? Your best prospects. But a lot of people are killing their best prospects straight out of the gates because they're trying to be the message and not the messenger. They're becoming the message and not the messenger. And what happens then is if you've had me listen to the call and it made sense to me and got me excited, And then all of a sudden I watch the two videos and I'm like, man, that makes sense. I know this business owner, this business owner, this business owner. You pretty much got me. And then what happened?